How's it going, guys? I'm working on ITL 528 discussion board week 2. It says identify and list content standards from your own content area that you plan to teach in your week-long series of lessons. You must have at least one. Okay. Identify and list the additional content standards you plan to overlap with. Explain why you chose a standard and how you see them overlapping in a natural or intuitive way that will deepen or facilitate your students' learning of your content area, and then elaborate on how you plan to integrate through UDL principles and multiple means of representation, engagement, or expression. Okay, so let me just get to these content standards real quick because I don't know them off the top of my head. All right, so the first standard, I'm teaching PE, so students demonstrate knowledge of and competency in motor skills, physical movement patterns, and strategies needed to perform a variety of physical activities. So this standard right here, it probably overlaps with some standards, of the sciences, definitely some of the health sciences, because it deals with PE is not just about running around playing sports. There's actually a good amount of biomechanics involved, kinetics, just overall factors of how the body works on a physical level. So this one kind of overlaps with one of the other standards that I'm looking at here. It says students achieve a level of physical fitness and health and performance while demonstrating knowledge of fitness concepts, principles, and strategies. So the reason I'm looking at both of these, we talk about using students' funds of knowledge as assets. So how that relates to me as an educator, I'm kind of using my funds of knowledge to describe, why I'm choosing these. I had a sports background. I played professional baseball for a couple years, so I'm into how the body works. I'm into health and fitness, and I think when it comes to this prompt, I think it's important for these kids not to just be good at certain physical skills that they'll use in sports, but they can use all these skills as they go on in life. Because I feel like it's super beneficial to move well, stay injury free, and be physically fit, no matter what arena we're working in. I think it helps you, both mentally and physically. So there's some benefits there. Let me just double check the last bullet point. Okay, so explain how I would elaborate on how I would integrate both these. So when talking about the two standards, we're basically talking about movement patterns and health and fitness, and having them be able to explain what the health and fitness factors are. So I like to use the student's background here. Not everybody's going to be a great mover. Not everybody's going to be a great athlete. So I really use their personality and their traits and kind of their interests to individualize learning. So when I'm doing formative or summative assessments, I know who my good my students are, who are good in English and history, and sometimes those are the ones that like to speak. They like to read information. Sometimes they like to show that they understand by speaking and not doing. So I leave that up to their interpretation, and I'm constantly monitoring the class. So I know the ones that like sports, that like to be active, and some of the good athletes in class, I can test based off movement patterns, and I can get more into depth on how to prevent injury. How are you moving during this specific task? So really just trying to use their backgrounds and reminding myself that not all students are the same. They're all going to learn differently. But I do think that, these two standards, if they're understood the way that they should understand them at the end of the unit, they're not just going to help them in a physical setting. They're going to help them, overall lifestyle, and they'll have, the knowledge on the body and how to optimize their health and fitness. And that's going to help them in other arenas too. And that's why I'm so interested in these two standards. So thank you guys. Let me know what you think.